For 400 years, Venice ran the world's most profitable scam. They bought spices cheap from Arab traders, who bought them cheaper from Indian merchants, who got them from Indonesian farmers for basically nothing. Life in medieval Europe was flavorless hell. Your meat rotted before you could eat it, your bread was stale before you baked it. And everything, absolutely everything, tasted like wet cardboard mixed with disappointment. Then someone brought back a few seeds from halfway across the world. Black pepper, one sprinkle, and suddenly your garbage meal had flavor. Real flavor. Not the kind you imagine when you're starving, but actual taste that made your brain light up like a Christmas tree. But pepper wasn't just seasoning, it was medicine. Cloves could numb toothache, cinnamon preserved meat for months. Nutmeg, one single nutmeg could buy you a house in London. Not a shack, a house. These weren't seasonings, they were miracles in seed form. And they all came from one place nobody in Europe could find. The Spice Islands, thousands of miles away through oceans that may or may not exist, and guarded by people who definitely wanted to kill you. For 400 years, Venice ran the world's most profitable scam. They bought spices cheap from Arab traders, who bought them cheaper from Indian merchants, who got them from Indonesian farmers for basically nothing. Then Venice sold them to the rest of Europe for 1,000 times the original price. Okay, why don't we just sail there ourselves? Europeans asked. Because the Venetians smiled, literally swimming in peppercorn money. You idiots don't even know where there is. Also, our maps are locked in a vault, and the key is made of solid nutmeg. Good luck with that. They were right. Sea routes to Asia were family secrets, passed down through generations. Maps were locked in vaults. The exact location of spice-producing islands, that was classified at a level that would make the CIA jealous. Venice got stupid rich. Their places floated in foundations of black pepper and cinnamon sticks. But every monopoly has an expiration date. And Europe was getting tired of paying premium prices to eat food that didn't taste like punishment. In 1498, a Portuguese captain named Vasco da Gama did something everyone said was impossible. He sailed around Africa and landed in India. For the first time ever, Europeans had found a direct sea route to spices. The Venetian monopoly died overnight, but da Gama didn't come to make friends. He brought cannons, big ones. When local rulers in Calicut weren't excited about new trading partners, da Gama's response was simple: trade with us, or we'll turn your port into rubble. It worked. Portugal built fortress trading posts up and down the Indian Ocean coast. Small, heavily armed settlements designed for one purpose: control every ship carrying spices. Pay Portuguese taxes or face Portuguese guns. Your choice. The system was brilliant and absolutely ruthless. Portugal didn't need to conquer entire countries. They just needed to control the water. And suddenly, they did. Spain looked at Portugal's success and wanted in. Christopher Columbus pitched them the dumbest idea in navigation history. What if we sail west to go east? Columbus had completely screwed up his math. He thought the Earth was about 3,000 miles smaller than it actually was. Basic geography completely wrong. But Spain was desperate enough to fund his delusion. Columbus never found Asia. He bumped into America instead and spent the rest of his life insisting the Caribbean was actually the coast of China. He died believing he'd found the route to spices. He'd actually found 2 entire continents and missed it completely. While Portugal and Spain fought over trade routes, the Netherlands built something more dangerous than armies or navies. They built a corporation. The Dutch East India Company wasn't just a business. It was a business with its own military, its own government, and the legal authority to declare war on anyone who hurt profits. The Dutch looked at the spice trade and saw inefficiency everywhere. Portuguese forts cost too much to maintain. Spanish exploration was sloppy and expensive. The Dutch approach was surgical: find the source, control the source, eliminate competition. They sailed straight to the Spice Islands with a simple offer for local rulers: partner with us exclusively and get rich. refuse, and get dead. When the Banda Islands resisted Dutch control over nutmeg production, the Dutch response was genocide. They killed or enslaved 15,000 people, virtually the entire population, for nutmeg. The survivors were replaced with Dutch colonists and imported slaves. The Banda Islands became a nutmeg plantation built on mass graves. But it worked. The Dutch now controlled spice production from seed to European dinner table. By 1650, spice war had gotten completely insane. Nations fought decade-long conflicts over islands the size of parking lots. The Dutch and English went to war 4 separate times over nutmeg trees. In 1667, they signed history's weirdest peace treaty. England gave the Dutch a tiny island called Run, the only place on Earth where nutmeg grew wild. In exchange, the Dutch gave England some worthless swampland in North America that nobody wanted. That worthless swampland was Manhattan. The Dutch traded Manhattan for nutmeg, and everyone thought the Dutch got the better deal. Actually, nutmeg was worth more than New York City. Think about it for a second. But the spice wars were changing. New world crops like sugar, tobacco, and cotton started making more money than old world spices. European taste buds adapted. People figured out that herbs grown in their own backyards could make food taste decent. The monopoly on flavor was breaking, and the age of dying for dinner seasoning was finally ending. The spice trade didn't just change what people ate, it changed everything. Global shipping routes, colonial empires, the discovery of entire continents, the rise and fall of nations, all because people wanted their food to taste like something other than sadness. Today you can buy pepper for loose change at any grocery store. But those tiny black seeds once launched 1,000 ships, toppled governments, and even reshaped the planet. The next time you add pepper to your food, remember, you're tasting 500 years of war, murder, and the human obsession with making bland food edible. That's a flavor worth remembering.